Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Umbras, and today we are back in Gran Turismo 3 where we got a lot of races left, but only 2 championships. One of those being the Gran Turismo All Stars. 10 races, oh gosh, including test course. And finishing on 3 of the longer tracks in the game, so that's gonna be fun too. We got a lot to get done. So let's dive in with a Mazda 787B to get the last of the GT style racing series done with our prototype. And next time we do these races, next time will be the next championship will be final championship with open wheelers. Relations always says, yeah, I can do that on Sundays. Welcome, Jaden. Hope you're well. You missed the chaos that was the endurance event yesterday. Holy moly. It was flooded Silverstone, and it was death. But it was fun, because myself and my teammate, we actually won it, which is super based, so I'm happy about that. Oh boy, yeah, we have a lot to catch. 15 lap race, which is actually shorter than the races that were on the Polyphony Digital Cup, actually, in a much faster car. Oh gosh, although tires, got it. Okay, I gotta be a little bit careful. Remember, I'm on the very hard tires, so these are less bueno. These are less bueno. Oh, he's wide. Yes. But how you doing today, Jaden? Hope everything is good with you. Hope you all well. Who's coming out on W's today then? I probably got it a bronze. Hey, nice. Great stuff. Welcome to silver. Hopefully the ELO gods bless you. Wow, that is a dive and a half from the Nissan. That is yeah, that Nissan is absolutely pushing it to the limits. Very, very much abused in the track limits there. We got this. We got the power. They braked very early there. I am glad. I am glad that we didn't. That has given us a fairly significant lead. Nissan channeling is in a Mitsubishi. I mean, they are partner. Are they still partner companies? I think so. I think they are still partner companies, but yeah, that would make sense, right? Alright, we're doing well so far. 2 laps in of a 15-lap race at one of my favorite IRL tracks to drive on. You know, in the racing sense. I've never actually been out west of California, but if I did, yeah, I would definitely try to catch a race at Laguna Seca, like IndyCar or IMSA or something like that. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun. Alright, wide. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I should have known that was coming. We lost a lot of ground there. I'm trying to reacquaint myself with Gran Turismo 3 handling after yesterday's frustrating foray into Need for Speed 2015 handling. With that being said, though, we are actually going to be doing a lot of Burnout this week. Burnout 2 Point of Impact and Burnout 3 Takedown are scheduled for twice this week each. And hopefully we can get both those games beaten before the end of the year. They're stopping off production to develop their all electric future. I mean, to be fair, they sold Ultimus to people that were on the verge of bankruptcy as well, so, you know, probably wasn't their best business plan, running on subprime loans, subprime auto loans, with high-risk clients. Also reinstalling racing because the only decent sim I can run is the GTO class. Oh, nice. Yeah, Race Sumo is great. I think, I have to double check, but I think Track.eu is either currently finishing up or still has an ongoing race room sim racing championship going on right now. It's on Sundays, and it is the Super Tours. So like, you know, the 90s touring cars and everything. And I think that is mostly finished, but the feedback from people has been quite positive. So they're looking at potentially doing another race room series. And depending on how things go, I may also do a race room, like you know, join a racing series if our track is doing that. Potentially. So let's cross my fingers that Project Motor Racing will be good, but racing games nowadays are like, yeah, I know. I was so disappointed for Project Motor Racing, which is a shame because I really liked, you know, Project Cars 1 and 2. I've played those games quite a bit. And I've always really enjoyed them, and I even enjoyed the Need for Speed Shift series. Admittedly, 1 more than 2. Both are still really great. And it's just a bit disappointing to see, you know, all the big promises and everything, and it's. This is why. Like I was always doing the warnings of, all right, no hype, because. Like, I've just been burned way too many times. Where it's like, alright, nope. I'm going to wait for it to be released, and I'm gonna wait for like 5 or 6 different people that I trust to actually review it thoroughly. Also considering when referring to Charles Leclerc, just naming him Sluice. Aww. I don't know, I feel bad for him. He's got those sad puppy dog eyes. I can see why he has so many fangirls. He's got the troubled but cute sad boy energy. But no, genuinely, as someone that loves rooting for, like, you know, the super legacy teams, you know, Williams, Ferrari, all that stuff, and as someone that loves, like, the underdog victories, I am absolutely rooting for, you know, Charles Leclerc. I want him to get at least 1 championship with the red team. But geez, Ferrari making it very difficult to be fans. I mean, it could be worse. You could be a McLaren fan watching Norris and Piastri bottle a perfectly good championship. What does current Leclerc differ from Rookie Leclerc? Rookie Leclerc has so... I don't know, current Leclerc has a good amount of... I don't know, you can still tell, like, he cares a lot, but he's just kind of, like, done with Ferrari. Isaac? Uh-oh. Yes. 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 I'm a McLaren. Oh, so how was the Qatar race today, man? Sorry, that's mean. I'm being mean. Look, I'm just happy Sainz got 2 podiums this season in the Williams. Let's go. We're so back, boys. I'm sorry. Hey, look, at least you guys had the Constructors Championship locked in, I think. But holy moly, this is coming down to be like a repeat of like 2007, where it was, well, we don't really want either of the drivers to feel like they're the #1 drivers, so they're both gonna lose to some sleeper hit driver that's, you know, just getting the consistently good finishes. Because the other two are just, they can't get along on track because we can't actually assign #1 and #2 priority without just completely breaking the team. As soon as I saw they didn't put either driver, so no safety car, I'm like, that's it. Yeah, it's literally gonna be Abu Dhabi 2021 again, potentially. That's gonna be interesting. That is gonna be interesting. On one hand, Max has a chance to do the funniest thing ever and cause generational trauma for a bunch of British people twice in a decade. Honestly, I'd love to see Russell and Antonelli just find their way to a WDC. Honestly, yeah. Like, I didn't really like the Mercedes during like their dominant years, but like now that they're like, you know, the field seems a little bit more balanced. I do have a soft spot for Mercedes as well. I just hated the fact that I was seeing them constantly win week in and week out during the 2010s, like the later 2010s. Like, holy moly. But like now, yeah, I'm happy to see, you know, the Mercedes, you know, get the podiums, look at the solid points, and I definitely want the best for Lewis too, because, well, one, he's a Ferrari driver, and two, like, I genuinely, dude is like realizing just how good he had it at Mercedes, and it was like, wait a second, is this what Vettel went through when he was trying to challenge me for the WDCs? Holy moly, I get it now. It's sad though. Like, I feel bad for Lewis, because man is a class act. He's, you know, like an absolute legacy driver. He's got, you know, obviously on paper the absolute records and everything like that, and he's just genuinely a really, you know, really great driver too. And it's just a shame to see, you know, him get so frustrated with the team. And a team not listen to someone who has that much experience. The air fried chicken strip. Ooh, that sounds tasty. Welcome, JB. Hope you're well. May those chicken strips be crispy. May they be the extra crispy. Honestly, I may be able to go the full race without pitting. Just hoping everyone has luck switching to Cadillac when I put in the be the next Braun GP. I'm not sure they'll be the next Braun GP, given the fact that they are going to be using the Renault engines, and the Renault engines have been genuine shit. I'm not even gonna like mince words, that the Renault engines have been genuine shit. But I do hope they're at least like a mid-pack team. And so nah, I kind of hope Cadillac's like a long-term like F1 team. Getting an actual American manufacturer involved in F1 is something that like I would be absolutely stoked to see. Also, on the flip side, I'd love to see more F1 teams, especially with the cost cap now, dip their toes in the IndyCar. I think Red Bull is probably the best prospect. Hat Renault stopped making their own productions by the start of Gran Turismo. I'm pretty sure it's the fuck. I'm pretty sure that Alpine's still making their own engines. They just aren't like selling them as customer engines. But I'm pretty sure the Cadillac team is going to be using like rebadged like Alpine engines to start with. before eventually developing their own. So we will see. But I love to see more F1 teams getting into like IndyCar. That'd be so cool, especially like Red Bull. Red Bull is like the best candidate for that because they got such a stacked driver development program, right? Where it's basically like you get so much backlog and backflow of drivers that like you need a genuinely good place to put them and develop them even more, especially if like one of them wins Formula 2, but like you don't have any open seats in F1. Instead of just sacking one driver because, oh my god, they're not the next Max Verstappen, you know, you let them continue to develop and everything. And then you can send other drivers to like IndyCar to further develop their skills there as well. You use that to kind of train up strategy people and everything in the more chaotic nature that is IndyCar. And I genuinely think that like that would be a smart use of resources, especially as Red Bull were one of the largest spending teams prior to the cost caps being implemented. So you got a lot of extra money that's kind of going unspent that could be used to further like improve the F1 team without it being spent on the F1 team, you know? Just hoping Audi fixes the mess at the stake F1 Kicksauber team and Hockenberg can actually drive a decent. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that man has absolutely outperformed that Kicksauber so much. It is a question of decision to promote Tsunoda after only a season. Yeah, like he's gotten genuinely quick, and yeah, like I would love to see him continue racing. Alternatively, with Tsunoda having the Honda backing, that would be the best way for Red Bull to jump into like an IndyCar series and use that to kind of like further develop the team and everything like that. We're using like Honda engines in the IndyCars and everything, getting like special deals for that, and running like two Red Bull cars in IndyCar. Like that would genuinely be like a smart use of resources, I think. Chicken Dung got some rolls with it. Roll, nice, based. You got some dipping sauce. I like the sauce. I like a spicy honey sriracha. That's, oh yeah, that is some good stuff. Ranch. I mean, ranch works well too. Ranch works well too. Kind of a tangy, zesty sauce. Imagine he outqualifies Max at Abu Dhabi and Horner and Max are looking at him like May and Clarkson looking at Hammond. Yes! Just further flip the Drivers' Championship on its head, why don't you? I could pit. Especially because my fronts are basically dead. But I'm not going to. Because literally, it's probably the only race we can do this in as well. We are gonna no-stop this shiz. Although yeah. Pit or no pit? Yeah, definitely pit this time around. I'll definitely no pit this race. But later races I'm gonna be pitting because they're the longer tracks. Laguna is probably one of the shortest ones to drive around. And although you do get moderate amounts of tire degradation, it is still fairly quick. But yeah, it's crazy. These races are considerably shorter than the Polyphony Digital Cup races. Yeah, we have like no brakes though because our fronts are absolutely worn. A daily rotary. My dude, you do not want a daily rotary. You do not want a daily rotary. Listen to me. You don't want a daily rotary. You don't want a daily rotary. I am telling you right this second. You don't want a daily rotary. I know someone who tried to do that. You have enough autism for it? Yes, but do you have enough time for it? There we go. Money, 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 money. Next race. Yes. You got enough time for, like, every time you go out, you're waiting like 10 minutes just with the car idling for it to warm up. Of course I know, abuse me. Nah, I mean, that's one thing where even I don't wish. As much as I love my rotaries. Yes, okay. Alright. I don't know, the rotary ownership does not seem like it'd be a enjoyable, daily experience anyway. Funny, Brad probably gets 7 MPG in town. Yeah. Okay, the other question then. Will you be able to afford all the maintenance and everything that comes with owning a rotary? You know, the premium fuels, all the oil, all that stuff. Doing a whole ritual for good luck for a car that starts in 5 attempts. I know. It ain't worth it. I say this as someone that is currently driving a 787B, which is a rotary machine. It is a beautiful machine, but do it myself, yes. Besides, I'm literally the only person around here that knows anything about them. Alright. Well, up to you, man. That's the luck. Best of luck. Uh-oh. Okay. Gotta remember, this vehicle is a lot quicker. I gotta get used to the downforce that this has and everything. Going from the fairly low downforce Roof RGT to the crazy high downforce 787B is definitely a decision. So notice that real preference for car behavior. Like every series cars despite my drunk stop being stressful on the front tires. If you like every series cars and you stressful on front tires, you're probably turning too much. Probably using too much turning and diving too late onto the brakes. There are people with dailies, RX-8s with smoother issues. I mean, that's fair. That is fair. You do you, boo. Do with a cos. I don't think any of us here, if we all pooled our money together, I don't think any of us could afford it. Like, still don't think we could be able to afford a Cosmo. Welcome, Mark 7. Hope you're well. Thought I missed this game. I know. This game, it was my childhood. Absolutely love it. Super great. Holy moly, it was the bomb. It was just a good game. And right now we are in a second to last championship with the Gran Turismo All Stars. We're in a 787B on the super hard tires. And we are in round 2 of 10. Absolutely kicking butt. See, I love toxic relationships, like, especially with my temperamental personalities. Not judging. I mean, I am silently judging, but I'm not judging. I'm not openly judging. Gosh, that final corner is so great in the old version of Deep Forest as well. Just being able to take that at near full throttle, or just the slightest dab of the brakes, and just absolutely yeeting yourself through that corner at Mach Jesus. I'm well, thank you. It just got a new car. Ooh, very nice. Jetta GLI to speed. Huh. Yeah, it makes sense. They're probably going to the DSGs for a lot of that stuff. The little flippy floppy paddle shifters. So enjoy the manual, man. It's great. The rotaries match me in heaven. I mean, you get the great sound at least. Toxic as hell, but the sound, it sounds good. And it's cool about being enough to see the 0901 become a classic. I get when I can do the funniest thing and RB and 2JZ swap. My dude, if you do that and I am somehow dead, I'm going to rise from the grave and haunt you for the rest of your life. I'm gonna haunt you. I'm going to genuinely haunt you. I hope you're ready for that. The Metal Gear chickens. Ooh. Go reheat it, go reheat it. Don't eat frozen chicken. Even better, 2JZ swap a friction, but okay. Whether you do it or not, just suggesting that, I am going to make a deal with God or whoever to come back as a ghost and haunt you. I hope you're ready for that. I'm gonna haunt you. But yeah. K20 so. Mods, make this man walk on only D4s for the rest of his life. Since he likes the number 4 so much, 4 cylinders. Make the soles of his shoes only be D4s. And he has to wear them for the rest of his life. And not only D4s, but they're not going to be the plastic kind. They're going to be the metal kind with sharp edges. When the weekends, he gets to take a little bit of a break from that, and instead he only gets to walk on Legos. Year 38, swap a Shelby Cobra. Mods, do the same to JB. The only way I would accept that is if it's a kit car. Honestly, as a kit car, that'd actually be kind of cool. Which, to be fair, I have seen a Ford Coyote engine swap Shelby Cobra kit car, and holy moly, that thing can like rip. That was very, very quick. So, you know. Trumpet Cobra 427. So time to get a factory 35 car since the base in Massachusetts. Yeah. Honestly, they're kind of cool. one of the other like kit car manufacturers is super cool is the Art Morrison Corvettes. But that would be a bad idea for winter conditions. Yeah, holy moly. You would die. And then you would crash. It's not that you would crash and die, it is that car would be so terrifying to drive. You would die. And then you would crash. Imagine dailing a turbine car. That'd be an interesting one. I know Chrysler and GM and all of them were experimenting with that during the 60s, during the jet era and the space race era. But I wonder what those vehicles would have been like to drive. It would have been such an interesting experience. I want to know what, like, I want to genuinely just drive like one of the old GM Firebird concepts, or like the Chrysler Turbo Fire, something like that, and just to see what they would like to drive, because they gotta be interesting. Skipped up a PS2 on eBay for 31 bucks and a couple controllers, and a memory stick. So the next 5 year I'd and just bought a bunch of PS2 games for like based. Yeah, nowadays with the power of emulation, I'm running this on an emulator, and basically I spent like the 2 whole days putting my entire PS2 collection on my PC for that. But if you can get with like the actual hardware as well, absolutely based. I do highly recommend though, if you get a chance, make sure you do some scouting, find some of the common components that fail. Mainly like the laser reader motor and the laser reader and all that stuff. Highly recommend you do that. People who have driven a Chrysler love them, but due to government shenanigans, had to nuke the project member. Yeah. I mean, I imagine those vehicles probably weren't the safest things to drive as well. And I imagine come the era of like the emissions, you know, I doubt you'd be able to effectively put a catalytic converter on a turbine engine, or an EGR valve on a turbo engine, a turbine engine. Another reason not to go cave diving. Nope, never going cave diving. Imagine getting a cabin big enough to stand in. You shine your light and see a spider with the size of the tire. Nope, nope, no, no, no. Like, not only, like, caving itself is bad enough, right? Where it's, I could literally get myself caught here and, like, die from asphyxiation or, like, blood flowing to the head. Like the Nutty Putty dude did. But, like, cave diving is even worse. Like, imagine you're doing all that while also underwater, so you've got no idea what is up and what is down. You're in, like, even darker areas. And now you're at the risk of drowning, where no one will ever be able to, like, get your body. No thank you. No. No. No, no, no thank you. It's up in Australia, and it wasn't made by one big spider. It was made by a colony of 100,000 spiders. Why y'all do this to me? Why do y'all do this to me, chat? I did not need to know that information. Australia. Gotta love Australia. Well, Australia, you so scary. And of course, everybody's favorite Chaos Rat is from Australia. had to go through learning this, now you do too. I mean, fine. Turbo Bar is pretty good actually. It's two still exists. Literally runs to anything that burns. It's quite solid. Yeah, I imagine acceleration probably wasn't that great since you gotta like slowly build up the momentum and everything like that. Would have been an interesting, I don't know, it'd be cool to see. I know they tried a turbine Indy 500 car as well. That didn't go as planned. Yeah, and I imagine nowadays, like, piston engines, and with the, like, electronic hybridization and everything like that, they're probably better than most turbine engines as well in terms of overall, like, emissions and everything. And performance for fuel efficiency. Yeah, you probably won't be able to use anything that burns in them, but still. It's something. Alright, speed. One more lap and then we are done round two. We're making great progress so far. Wow, while the Polyphony Digital Cup was very, very long, this is actually surprisingly short. I know the next one though. The next one of the, like one of the first 5 is test course, so that one's gonna be a long one. So much as one so bad, all things considered. Galeno's got one registered in California. Interesting. I'm wondering if that's due to like one of their like show car laws, where if it's like extremely historically significant cars are like exempt from like certain testings and stuff. Also learned that Mantis Shrimp and Pistol Shrimp are 2 different things. Mantis Shrimp are the monk bill with all stats invested in strength, and the Pistol Shrimp is a plasma. Yeah, basically with that one, the Pistol Shrimp, it basically superheats the water and almost like cooks its prey. Which is crazy. Either way, I wouldn't want to make either of them angry. That'll probably hurt. Alright, round 2 complete. Round 3, let's go! What's your some message sign out when it shoots? Based. Next one, midfield raceway. But the field is anywhere but mid. So I can down our prey and cook it mid. Cause, I mean, you gotta do a little bit of prep work, you know. Get rid of the bones, get rid of like some of the entrails and everything like that. Get rid of like any fur. Like anything that'll cook it that fast to make killing it humane probably wouldn't make for a tasty meal. Literally, they all went off there. How did they all go off in the same Gran Turismo, I love you, but sometimes you silly. You silly Gran Turismo. A whole incident where pistol shrimps kept showing up as enemy torpedoes. Huh. Interesting. That is a dive and a half. Can y'all not do that? Alright, thankfully they're gonna run wide again this turn. They're gonna run wide this turn. Yep, there they go. There they go. Oh gosh. Tactical pistol shrimp swarm. Gotta go finish this one in his dash cam. Alright, take care. Best of luck and enjoy the new the Jetta as well. I get a bad reading because some crustaceans smelled up in my hand, got the munchies, I'ma lose. That's hilarious. Yeah, granted it does cool down very rapidly because it is such a small, such a small, you know, size, so it rapidly cools down. But yeah, that is crazy. It gets toasted. Alright, goodbye. And the R390 keeps going off. Telling me I shrimp fry this rice? Apartment complex? I find that quite simple. Dodge Ram? Well, just avoid it. Wait, no. Dodge Ram? Well, of course. No one wants to get rammed. Wait, what? Didn't know GT3 was so good at mimicking a Forza Online lobby. Yeah, I know. We're moving. We're moving. I'm giving a mentorship black air for. You got? Did they make suits? Did they make sizes that small? Gosh, you guys are sharing the same brain set right now. On one hand, it's adorable, on the other hand, what the fuck? Shrimp voice one. This is gonna be a fun stream. Give it Tim's. Tim's still like in fashion. They were kind of like the boots, the work boot for people who didn't work back when I was in like high school and college. Are Tim's still like in? Like how I just unintentionally proved my point. Yeah. The one and a crew yet. Oh, this is gonna be a fun stream. Chat, help me. Chat, I'm cooked. The shrimp has fried me like they fried the rest. They are. I have black ones. Oh, okay. So Tim's are still like in vogue. Okay. I mean, I guess Jordans still are. So I guess that's something that's stayed kind of a constant. What about Yeezys? Are they still? Are they still in fashion? Don't question the red on mine. Alright, maybe a shrimp did fry this rice, but there ain't no way a clam made this chop. Oh. Chat. 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 Cherry. Oh, okay. Oh, also, guys, I don't know, I was thinking like red laces or something. Like, I don't know, I've seen people online freaking about how like red laces are bad or whatever. I got no freaking idea why. It's just laces, right? But yeah. So I thought like that was like the don't question the red laces, like that it's like a meme or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, we got lots of racing still to do. Oh yeah, but today, I'm looking the ranch off my plate because chicken got stuck in. How much ranch you got on your plate? Also, just get a fork, my dude. The engineer giving you the simplest solutions to life's greatest problems. But today, I built the Raspberry Pi with retro emulation. So now I can get my wife to play old games as well. So I'm super hyped. I'm super hyped for that. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix happens with the Christmas party next week. Oh yeah! Hopefully. Also no fork. What do you mean no fork? You're at home, ain't you? Just get a fork, silly bean. That is entirely the wrong line to take through there. Alright, we're pitting this lap. No, I'm in a tree. Oh, okay. Hopefully you stay warm in that tree, my dude. Whoa, that Jaguar is going crazy. It's going to funky town. Like hanging upside down right now in a tree in the middle of winter, almost winter. The day before December. Eating ranch chicken nuggets. If I go to Chicago though, Isaac, I'm kidnapping you from wherever you're doing. And I go into Portillo's to try the chocolate cake shake. Fair. There's one problem though. I do not live in Chicago. You were thinking of Adachi. Well, the chat moderator. I am a Marylander. I am Crab Gang. Oh, you know, okay. So you're going down to Maryland first to kidnap me to take me up to Chicago. I see how it is. Did I stutter? No. No, you did not stutter. That's all, folks. It's fine. Why are there no raspberries and why is it in my computer? Nah, it's a little mini, like, processing unit thing, hobby kit. But I got that running an emulation software. And right now I've only really got the Pokemon games on it. As like Rebecca's like kind of first like as people's first RPG and everything like that. Yo, eat the Raspberry Pi. Don't eat the Raspberry Pi. You know how long it took me to actually get it set up? Holy moly. Don't eat. Drag me to Chicago. Drag me and the wife to Chicago. I mean, could be interesting. Come cheap. No. I will send you to Brazil. I will send you to Brazil, JB. You best be ready for that. Hell yeah, they got baddies. They also got criminals and undercover cops that are shooting criminals, or criminals that are shooting undercover cops, and all of them ride mopeds. And the crust supposed to be crunchies. I mean, yes, but not the rest. Anyway, I got it set up for her, and it is. I got Pokemon on it, so it's her first, some of her first games. I eat chips sideways. I heard the pain. Yeah. Congrats. You have heard the phantom pain. I almost broke him. Can you not break me before my retirement? Come on, I got a 401k and pension waiting for me. Like, someone my age is ever gonna see a pension. That's funny. That's funny. That's cute, that's charming. Pension impact. Pension impact. I mean, yeah, sure. Honda Fit? Well, it should. But will this fit in my fit? Naked Snake. I am in pain. Eva. Why? Because of the crushing illness that I could help you with. No. Because also I just shot out my eye. What chubby GT? Welcome. Hope you're all well. There's a snake in my snake. There's a snake in my shake. Snaking. Honestly, I should do like a Southwest milkshake chain called Snake and Shake. I think Steak and Shake would probably sue me. Don't care. It would be funny though. Water. Water is delicious. Water is yummy. Stupid YouTube for not notifying me of the notification. I know. Big Sag there. But hey, welcome. Snake bacon. Making snake and bake. Snake and bacon. Making snake and bacon. Test course! Get ready for the pain. The phantom pain. Does anyone know when Naked Snake's real name is actually John? John Snake. Nah, I like water. Water is delicious. Crisp, clean water. Also, holy moly. Alright, here's the plan. I'm gonna have to hope that they pit. Gran Turismo the third. Yeah. They are definitely in upgraded cars. Holy moly. But I don't need longer gears because I'm not like balancing out the rev limiter. I am basically at like the maximum possible top speed. Kind of. No one hears a word I say. Is the memory gone? Yeah, no, okay, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. I'll just have to get that with the Viper. I'm just gonna get that with the Viper. I'm just gonna get that one with the Viper. The Viper would be the best way to do that one. Alright, next round, Apricot Hill. It's not like I'm bouncing with the Reveler. Me with the Revelers. Okay, I wasn't in the turns. On the straights, in the draft, yeah. So I know now that these guys are upgraded. Because they have considerably higher top speed than what they should have. Which means, yeah, I probably will need the Viper for that. That's alright, because that means I get to drive the Viper one last time. So I will do that. It also makes sense as to why they're absolutely overshooting a lot of these corners and like sending mega dives. Because they just can't stop. You can't really upgrade the brakes on these. So you're just going faster. Dodge Viper? Yeah, you should. Yep. I want to dodge a venomous snake as well. Ah, Apricot Hill. This is a good track. Holy moly, he's moving. There is a Toyota up my bum. Dodge Ripper, you can't add lunges too fast. Pain. And also didn't the Viper race on the Chrysler lane? Yes in Europe, no in the States, I think. I can confirm it did in Europe. In the States, I believe they were still Dodges. So that is a yes with an asterisk. Merry Chrysler. Merry Chrysler. And to all a good Toyota-thon. Can you not dive me, you melon? These kids are 6-7 me. Wait till they find about 9-5. Wait till I find out about 9. My lawyer has advised me not to continue this joke. Bro. The Japanese are coming up my bum. And the Japanese not. Merry Chrysler and happy Honda days. Happy Toyota-thon. Yeah, you can see the front right. That is absolutely getting toast. Hey girl, you're a Vaporeon? Because I want... That's pushing it a little farther, my dude. Matt. Really, bro? They've got to be pitting soon, though. They've got to be pitting sometime soon. Like, they've got to be absolutely munching through their tires. It's going to be actually challenging with the upgraded AI. As we are in a stock 787B. This is gonna be interesting. I'm down, let's do it. Yeah, but some Digimon are valid, and some of them are literally just win. There's no laws against Pokemon, Batman. I don't know, some Pokemon I'd imagine would be like, probably okay. Like Gardevoir. Like, I imagine Gardevoir is probably safe, right? You did better with a Toyota Corolla. True. Looks exactly. Plus, who doesn't want a graceful psychic mommy waifu? I mean, wait, what? Only one that might be fine is Gardevoir. Lapani is still animal like. And then there's Gothita, I think. What's the fully evolved version of that? Because that one is also very human-like. It's so life size Gardevoir plush. Based. The real question though, do they sell a life-size Vaporeon plush? I mean, wait, what? Yeah, the, what's it called? The Harkness test, I think? Hey, dude, oh gosh, no. I was joking. Make life size for all the evolutions. Okay, unironically, a life size Flareon. Flareon may not have any moves, but it is the most huggable and cuddleable of all the evolutions. Like I wouldn't care about Pokemon battles. I would absolutely befriend Flareon. It's just a cute little toasty little worm buddy. What's funny is most psychic types can actually have more intelligence than people. Yeah, like Steelix has like an IQ of like 180 or something like that. Right? Alright, next lap I'm pitting. Next lap I'm pitting. Next lap I am pitting. As now I've finally got enough. I don't know why I get Poison chose Litten as a starter. Because cats are adorable. I'm not gonna lie, while I've kind of stopped playing Pokemon post Gen 6, Litten is genuinely adorable. I would have 100% chosen Litten as a starter as well. Not that the other ones are bad, but like, come on, Litten is just absolutely adorable. And then of course Incineroar is absolutely badass as well. Like, they managed to make the most firefighting looking Pokemon ever not a fighting type, which GG Game Freak, you guys knew. But they still managed to make it make sense because it plays the heel in wrestling, which is adorable. Then evolves an Incineroar Isaac with the 50/50 gym as well. Fair. You already know. Yeah, I'm sure. Look, I have unfortunately this weekend been made aware that there is certain books for women about milking minotaurs. So, I am well aware of what some people are into. And that is all I'm gonna say. And if you're wondering, like, milking minotaurs, but like, minotaurs are based off of bulls, which are males. Yep. Congratulations, now you know. No one cannot freak you. Yeah, I'm sure. That's probably true. That's probably true. You owed all the cards. Batman, I caught a Pokemon, Batman. Do you know what Pokemon I caught, Batman? What Pokemon did you catch, Joker? I caught a Lopunny, Batman. Oh no. You already know what I'm gonna do with it. Oh, Joker, no, you can't. There's no laws against the Pokemon, Batman. Joker, no. Joker, don't do it. I'm gonna do it, Batman. Joker, no. I'm gonna do it, Batman. I'm doing it, Batman. Joker, no, wait. You can't. Doesn't even debate it, just accepts it. At this point, I've learned not to debate it. Just, yep. Incinerize. Oh gosh. I mean, 50-50 gender split. Muscle mommies, you know. You got your muscle mommy Incineroars and your femboy God of Woods. I can't even believe I'm even saying that. Instead of some mommy eyes. Yeah, silly me. How could I have forgotten? Alright, 2 more laps. They're actually keeping some pace, and I'm a little bit terrified about that. Not super terrified, but like terrified enough to know that like, yeah, that could pose a potential issue. Picking up Vinus back. Kind of. It'll be interesting to see how this goes, because this is still Jack Dorsey. This is still the same guy who made the cesspool that is Blue Sky. And so like, I'm not the most optimistic. You know, on that front, that is pretty nice, but like, on the other hand, the other stuff, I'm not the most optimistic. I've got personal beef against Dorsey though, so I will fully admit I am biased. Not as in personal, like as in I know the guy, but just he's done shit in the past that like me as a person I don't like, you know? So I kind of try to stay very far away from most projects he's involved in. Am I in a Bronze Blue Sky? Man. And the people that are on it are, and the shall I say, the true believers that it attracts are, certainly something. Say the line, Isaac. Nah, I probably said more than I need to with regards to Blue Sky. Probably. Wait, am I the only one here? I don't know. Some people just lurk, you know? Which is perfectly fine. We vibe in here, man. Just remember, I can time you out, I can ban you, I can do all kinds of stuff if I really wanted to. Do not push me on that front. You don't wanna push me. Unless we're in the swings, in which case push me higher. Holy moly. Okay, they got speed. They got a crap ton of speed. Snap cube. I've come to make an announcement. Holy moly, they are like brutally quick on the straights though. Like my dude, who brewed their coffee with Red Bull this morning? Who brewed their coffee with Red Bull? I may have actually needed an open wheel car here. What the hell? Like on all the power tracks, they are just like gone. Okay, they did slow down this tighter section here. So I can't actually catch them. So we're not completely out of the running. But holy mother of mothers. Brewed with crack rocks. Well, the joke is you brew coffee, because coffee's, you know, the ground solid and everything. You brew it with a liquid, so that way it'll, you know, absorb into the new liquid coffee mixture. Anything about the new Ford Triflex Sweet 10 subscription? The what? I'm sorry, the what? Alright, you can't just drop that bomb on us and then go walk away, alright? This ain't my lawyers advised me not to make that joke. Can you not dive me there? That move was not one. Ford's making a V10 supercharger engine. The year of our Lord 2025. Alright, I gotta look that up after this race. Someone make a reminder for me for that. Ford Tri-Flex V10 supercharged engine. Is that even a thing? What even is that? Alright. Oh yeah, the new Viper successor, we got more info on it. It'd be a midship, but I have a Hemi V8. You know what? I'm okay with that. Corvette's going midship, Viper's going midship. Could you imagine Viper and GT racing again? Holy moly. That would be absolutely based. Okay, we actually got to run on them. Alright, that news with the engine. I can imagine. Can you give us more details? Viper Hellcat. The Snake Kitty. That acceleration is just like illegal though. Thankfully, it is absolutely shredding its tires, but... that's a lot. That is very nice. Be cool to see it. I'm posting Discord about that. Okay, fair. I won't be able to see that then until after the stream. That's fine. There we go. Up alongside it. Ow, can you not drive through me? Also, what the heck is Genesis cooking? Combining two rally engines to make a V8? Absolutely based. Absolutely based. Like, holy moly. I'm really excited to see what they produce for a hypercar. Ford as well. I want to see what Ford can do with the hypercar class. Because they got all the kinks of the Mustang sorted out, and that's been a very rapid machine. I wanna see what they can do with the hypercar. Korea's really going through right now what Japan went through in the 90s. You gotta be careful with that, because Japan did also have the bubble economy burst in the later 90s, so do be aware that the 90s in Japan wasn't exactly the best time. Also, holy moly, these three prototypes. Yeah, they are fast. We are fast. Oh, 80s and 90s. Yeah, fair. You just gotta be careful with that, because that did nearly kill like a lot of Japanese manufacturers. And even some still haven't recovered. Alright, TSO 20's pitting. We're still cooking though. We're still cooking with fire. I guess. Now, South Korea doesn't exactly have a whole lot of companies to, you know, select from on that front. Holy moly, this thing is rapid. Decent at rebranding the Outlander as a new rogue. Interesting. Wonder what are they doing any updates to it? Or is it basically just going to be a rebadge? Dennis is your new favorite car brand. I think that's some interesting stuff. I'm hoping they do well. Love to see how they do in racing. It is really just a bachelor. Wow. Truly the best R&D minds. Truly the best R&D minds. Come on. Shall we? No, one more lap and then we'll pit. Need to save money. I gotta make money to save. A lot of Nissan stuff right now, or rebadge Renault and Mitsubishi's. Yeah, it's rough. Well, the new Z as well, kind of. So I don't think that's based off of any other vehicle. Granted, it does share a lot of components with the previous Z34Z, but still. Yeah. Big goof on that front. Hopefully they're able to recover. I got a lot of I got a lot of fond memories of having worked on different Nissans in the past, so it's a little bit sad to see where they are now, but 'tis what 'tis. It is what it is. Plans for new dystopian skyline, but yeah, I'm not sure. They're not even gonna be updating their like SUV lineup, which is like the big moneymaker these days. A new sports car seems just very far away. Up into. Oh, they're gonna send it, aren't they? Yeah, they are. I should have known. That's meant to be an SUV too. Like, gosh, can we not? If we're gonna make soulless SUVs, can we at least not turn them into the? Can we at least not butcher the names of vehicles we know and love? Let's see if there's much of an EV sports car. I mean, that one I'd at least be kind of understanding one. Especially as a means of differentiating it from the Z. But yeah. Like that one I can kind of at least somewhat see. Like an electric S chassis go hard for maybe. That instant torque though would be difficult to kind of like balance the throttle on. It'd be an interesting choice for sure. I mean, there's a reason most teams aren't using electric vehicles. You want the kind of semi-linear power delivery within an RPM band that you can use to then control the vehicle through the slide. Having that kind of like instantaneous max torque, I think kind of makes that a lot more difficult than it needs to be. Potentially, anyway, potentially. Alright, 3 more to go. 3 more laps. Big push. Let's absolutely send it. Alright, take care, JB. You have a great night, alright? Alright, come on. 2.5 more laps here at Rome Circuit in the 787B. Absolutely piece of machine. Speed. But yeah, this is great. Loving the handling of this car, loving the grip. Oh, all right, little bit of a nudge there. Little bit of a nudge. We are going. Actually, we got closer to our fastest lap there. We're gradually kind of getting more and more used to the handling, the high downforce handling of the 787B. I just gotta make sure I remember to tackle the test course race with the Viper after the championship itself is done. I just gotta make sure I do that. Got 2 laps to go. Honestly, the R390's terrifyingly close. But I mean, the air has always been kind of quick at Rome Circuit. And also, it is a heavily modified R390, whereas we're in a stock 787B. So, you know, we got that going for us. Alright, we got 1 more lap. Big push. Big send. fact that we're doing these races in sub like 20 minutes is absolutely crazy as well. Considering that it was a miracle when we did the polyphony races in under 30. This is so much quicker. And of course the final series are gonna be in open wheel cars, so we got the crazy high downforce, crazy speeds that are all ready for us. So that is gonna be interesting as well. There we go. One more lap and then it's gonna give you the info. Yeah, I can do that too. I can do that too. Give me a second. 14, 15. Hey, money, 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 money. Give us the money. Alright. Oh, this was over 2 decades ago. Supercharged V10 engine. The super cheap, holy mother of mothers. Oh, it's a hydrogen powered one. Well, potential for hydrogen power. Huh. Using the basis of the Triton V10. Pretty cool stuff, actually. Alright, let's do this. Let's do the race. 15 laps around Seattle. But no, that's pretty cool. So that was like a couple decades ago then. They're testing out something for like hydrogen power. Gosh. Makes you wonder how the big issue with hydrogen power is you need the infrastructure. Oh gosh, alright, I gotta run this one software mode because hardware mode, it does not like that. Does not like that at all. But yeah, on hydrogen power, the big issue with hydrogen power is that you need the infrastructure to sell the cars, but you need the cars to justify the infrastructure. So it's one of those catch-22 things where it's like, it is very difficult to like get hydrogen power mainstream specifically because of that. Because you almost need people like to actively like invest in it and everything, but in both directions, and that makes it very tricky. Yeah, we are stuck behind the Nissan. I don't like that. Seattle is such a tricky track to overtake on. So they got crazy acceleration. Alright, there we go. That's a little bit better. Alright, time to catch the TSO 20 now. Can you? Alright. Yeah, we're on track to catch. We're on track to catch the TSO 20. We are on track to get them. We are on track to get them very quickly, very soon. So let's do this. Oh, alright, they hit the wall there. So now we can get up alongside. Potentially. They got a brake a lot earlier than us. Gosh, it is so crazy seeing prototypes on a course with jumps. Especially knowing how, like, the GT1 Mercedes, granted the CLR Mercedes, did the flip at Le Mans, and then I think it was the Porsche that did it at Road Atlanta for the Petit Le Mans. So it is crazy. It is crazy to see. Can you not just drive through me on entry to that corner? Anyway, let's try to get past and stay ahead of the TSO20 because this thing is getting just a little bit frustrating. Yeah, you can get pushed aside then. Yeah, hopefully in the twisty section here we can build enough of a gap to make them no longer a threat. Holy moly, so much better. Goodbye, good night, Seattle. There we go. Smooth through the chicane. No problems there. No issues. Alright, we are golden. We are perfectly fine here. No problems, no issues. And this is what, round 6, I think? Round 6 or round 7? So honestly, we are making some great progress here. I don't think we'll be able to finish the entire championship tonight, but we are definitely, absolutely pushing it to the limit here. Really, making sure we're making some great progress. I know we still need to do test course as well. So I think tomorrow we'll finish up GT All Stars and get test course as well, and then start the open wheel series. Right now, yeah, especially now that the other drivers, the tires are starting to fail, we can really push it to the limit. We can really, you know, absolutely. Oh, there goes the oil light. Yeah, we're running at reduced power now. The poor rotary has burnt away all of its oil. Ow. Okay. We are good. We are good. Absolutely golden. Yeah, alright, we got enough of a gap to them now that they are no longer a threat. It's still the early stages of the race where they become a threat because getting actually past them and not getting like completely out-dragged on the straights is certainly a challenging proposition. But yeah. Oof, okay. Ow. Ow, ow, ow. A little bit of a nudge. Ow, okay. I gotta genuinely stop doing that. That is becoming a major issue. This is great so far. Really good positioning, really good speed. Minimal issues. A little bit of wall taps, but that's not a big deal. Gosh, we're making some great progress in Gran Turismo though. We should be complete with this in the not too far future. Which is really, really cool to think about. Alright. Easy. Yep, a little bit of understeer. But I can handle that. I can handle a little bit of understeer. Alright, should I pit? I'm gonna pit next lap. I'm gonna pit the next lap. I'm gonna pit right at the midway point. That's probably gonna give me the best overall times. Alright. That was a struggle. That was a little bit of a struggle there. We were all good. Yeah, okay, this lap I'm pitting. This lap I am definitely pitting. Going in. Oh, big slide there. Holy moly. I'm gonna get some more water. Alright, after this race, I'm gonna need to refill my water. I've been extra thirsty today. So after this race, I'm gonna quick head back up upstairs, and I'm gonna be filling my water because my cup is completely empty, and I'm still just a little bit thirsty. Past couple meals have been a little bit on the saltier side, so yeah, no, it's always good to, you know. have all that situated. Alright, a little bit of air time. A little bit more air time. Spicy! Yeah, the high downforce cars and tracks with jumps like Seattle don't exactly go hand in hand. But it's alright. We still push onwards. We still carry on. Holy moly. Alright, come on, we can make it. This one's gonna be a little bit longer. This one's gonna genuinely be a little bit longer. Still under 30 minutes. It's probably gonna be like around like 22 to 25. Somewhere in that range. So the races, the tracks are getting a bit longer here. The races are getting a bit longer. We will see what we can do. Come on. Nice. There's the speed. Okay, starting to get back into the swing of just how to drive the high downforce cars. Just gotta absolutely send them. This feels like a fast lap. And granted, we do have some backmarker traffic ahead. So we will see. But we got this. 20, 21, 22. Yeah, that was a lot faster. Very rapid, very quick. So to keep pushing all the way through. We'll say, Seattle Circuit, despite the fact that it, for some reason, does not run well on emulator, it's actually a beautiful track, even in software mode. This is the kind of golden hour, yeah, sky and everything like that. Being able to see get to see the Space Needle even, just for a little bit. All the cool stuff. Like, it is really, really awesome. Like, they did a great job of really making, like, this pop when coming on to the next gen. from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2. They did a really, really good job of making this absolutely pop. Here we go, past the Panos. Past the Panos. Alright, no issues, no problems. Keep moving, keep sending it. Three more laps to go. And I probably got time for probably 2 more races. Maybe 3 more races if we're really, really pushing it. We're probably closer to 2. Come on. 3. Oop. We're doing alright. We're hanging in there. 2 more laps. Past the stadium section, which can't exist anymore. Because they redid the stadium there. Alright, up into a major road. Got a tight, almost hairpin coming up. Heavy braking zone. Over the crest, watch out for a little bit of that understeer. There we go, good stuff, good stuff. Jumps. Jumps. Alright, final lap coming up. Big push now, chat. A little bit spicy, but we're good. A little bit spicy, but we're good. Come on, one more lap. One more lap. Which is good because I desperately need more water. I am very thirsty tonight. Oh, they're watching us over the bridge as well. That is cool. This is seeing the stands everywhere just absolutely packed with people is super cool to see. Alright, let's send it across the line. Victory! Money! Alright, I'm gonna get more to drink. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, I am back. It is good to be back. Let's do this. Next race. Yeah, we definitely got time for 2 more races, because the next 2 are going to be longer races as well. Because we got Tokyo. Never mind, we got Route 240, we got a Special Stage Route 11. So we got that going for us. And then... Anyway, let's do this. Oh, it's the reverse version of Special Stage Route 11 as well. We'll get some nighttime running. Ow. Everyone's in the wall. They're all in the fence. They are all in the fence. But we're making this work. We are making this happen. Bye-bye. Yes, the speed. Welcome, welcome. All in all, just another car in the wall. All in all, just another car in the wall. Bam, 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 ba-dum. Dum, dum, dum. Welcome, welcome to the stream. Right now, we're in round 7 of 10, the Gran Turismo All Stars Championship. And we're racing on a very Japan-esque. I want to believe it's like somewhere in Tokyo. Just judging from the fact that we got what very much appears to be the Rainbow Bridge behind us. And then we have what looks very similar to the Odaiba Ferris wheel just ahead of us. I don't know, this area, it's obviously, you know, very fictionalized and everything, but it feels very Japanese in terms of like, just kind of like the overall layout, like a lot of the building designs and everything. It feels Japanese. Like we're like right around like the Odaiba area, which you can see both the Rainbow Bridge and also you do also have the Ferris wheel, the Odaiba Ferris wheel, which unfortunately was decommissioned in 2023. But it does leave eternal in the Tokyo Extreme Racer games. Whoa, okay. See, Hong Kong was on fire a couple days ago? Yeah, I saw that. There was construction fire from what I gather. What's even stranger is, because I used like a reinforced bamboo scaffolding. The scaffolding itself actually survived the fire a lot more than a good chunk of the building did. But yeah, I heard a lot of people like lost their lives as well, and it's just super sad because like, holy moly, that is, and it's unfortunate because it's one of those things where people talk about like, you know, like the archaeology being the future of, you know, the environmentalism and everything like that. And for those of you that aren't aware, archaeology is basically, instead of building outward city sprawls, we build upwards massive, super dense, like skyscrapers and stuff like that. Is the theological understanding of archaeology. But the big issue with that is some services can't quite scale with that, at least not currently. One of the big ones being like fire suppression and like firefighting and fire and rescue. All of that is very, very very tricky when it comes to skyscrapers, as then you need to begin getting like aircraft involved and everything. And if you have a super dense, you know, city as well with a bunch of buildings nearby, that makes it even more difficult for the aircraft to evacuate people. Because there's a certain limit to like how tall you can get like the ladder for like the ladder trucks and everything. Unfortunately, you know, us in America, we did see some of the worst aspects, the worst failures of our ecology during the you know, September 11th attacks. So it's just one of those things where it's great in theory, but a lot of technology needs to catch up before you can really get archaeology to really be viable on a large enough level. But unfortunately with Hong Kong, because it's such a small area, right? Like, and they have very little buildable space, you kind of have to build these crazy tall mega buildings just to, you know, fit that many people in there. And that is very, very unfortunate, the people involved with that, because there isn't really much you can do building wise with that, at least the current level of technology. They are trying to make advancements where they're having like now almost like these like cells, these like thermal cells with like a foam in them, where once the temperature reaches a certain point, like the cells basically burst, and the foam is like actually the foam, you know, is there for like, you know, the fire suppressant, and that has been in testing and in the works as well. And earthquakes, yeah, true. Yeah, earthquakes are another big one. Like pretty much like any like major like natural disaster, this gets very difficult, and also maintenance on those really tall buildings as well. Because you gotta you know, you gotta have the building, the bigger the building, the larger the dedicated like maintenance paths and everything need to be in order to get to like all the electricals, all the like the, you know, the sewer, water and everything, and they get that fixed. Holy moly, it really requires specialized equipment. And then getting appliances in and out. Like a lot. Like we can physically build buildings that tall quite consistently and everything like that. That's not that big of an issue anymore. It's all the other logistical managerial hurdles that come with it that we gotta design around now. Because it's one thing to have like the really tall buildings. It's another to like have it stand for, you know, a couple of generations and have people actively like living in it and all that stuff. And that makes it a lot more tricky. Yeah, Abu Dhabi's got some of that crazy stuff as well, the Burj Khalifa and everything. It is, well no, wait, that's Dubai, is it the Burj Khalifa, I think. Oh, it's Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi's got some crazy tall stuff too. Like that entire like Gulf region is just absolutely crazy. But yeah, no, it is crazy. Might be Dubai. I mean, but both of them have like the crazy tall buildings. It would honestly be really smart for those countries as well, because right now it's more so an experimental and test run phase. But they're making these solar windows, basically windows with like a thermoelectric film on them that can convert like the UV radiation into electrical energy. They're not quite as efficient as solar panels, but obviously for like tall buildings, there's a lot more space for windows than there is for the solar panels and stuff. So one thing certain regions, like, you know, like Singapore, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Monaco, that have like the crazy amount of money, Las Vegas as well, and do get a fairly significant amount of like the days of sunshine, is it'd be smart for them to invest in kind of, you know, being like the early adopters of that infrastructure. I think almost kind of future-proof the buildings that way. And that could be a really smart way of, you know, kind of having that improve that like energy independence and everything. Welcome, Sakura. Hope you're well. What's up, guys? I haven't been able to get notification live stream, but I'm here now. How's everyone been? Been good. We've been good. Right now we are around 8 of 10 for the Gran Turismo All Stars Championship. And it is very fun. We're in the prototypes for the last time. Well, I mean, guys, I guess tomorrow will be the last time with finishing off the championship. But this is the last regular championship in Gran Turismo 3 for a playthrough. And then we got the the Formula Gran Turismo Championship as the final race series, where we get to race open wheel race cars built based off of the Formula 1 racers of the 80s and 90s. And that is going to be fun as well. Right now we're in the Mazda 787B. First ever Japanese car to ever win the 24 Hours of Le Mans outright in 1991. Our oil light is on because they don't allow us to change oil between races, but that is okay. We just have a reduction in power, but we will be fine. We will be fine. Hello, welcome Midnight. Hope you're well. How did you enjoy the Qatar Grand Prix that happened today? Can't wait for more Burnout. Yes. This week is Burnout and more Burnout. Burnout 2, Burnout 3. All of it. We be burning out, son. But yeah, no, it's gonna be great. Oh, I didn't watch it. Oh, it was crazy. We have the possibility of a repeat of Abu Dhabi 2021 with Max Verstappen potentially. You woke up at noon. Fair. If you ever get the chance to rewatch it, do highly recommend it. It was an interesting race. Alonso with the masterclass defense. Red Bull with like the crazy strategy calls that worked out. Did have watched the Niners game. How'd they do? How did they be doing? Alright, this lap we're gonna pit. Halfway through the race. Tires are still mostly okay, but I'm gonna spread the wear out evenly between the two. We won in Cleveland for the first time since 1984. Holy moly. 26-8 as well. Well, that's one way to break the curse. That's one way to break the curse. You know what's crazy is when I went to Cleveland with my wife this summer, we didn't actually like go into it, but I got to see from the outside the stadium right by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You can see it from there. What's also really cool is if you get to see the aerial shots of the stadium and you see the airports nearby, that used to be the site of the Cleveland Grand Prix for IndyCar. IndyCar used to run on the airfield circuit right by the waterfront in Cleveland, Ohio, which was right by the stadium and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's crazy how close those three buildings are to each other. Also, the Rams lost to the Panthers 28-31. Dang, okay, that's a close game. That's a close game, actually. That's a very close game. I know I got a chance to watch the hey, LA so much so I was happy. Yeah, they're the rival Californian team. I said I was gonna pit that lap. I didn't pit that lap. Why am I a liar? Isaac, why are you a liar? That sounds like it was a pretty, like, either way, that sounds like it was a pretty close, pretty exciting game. So Juju in that front, you know, high scoring. Stafford had 2 interceptions. Those are game losing. Oh, rip. Big rip there. Holy moly. The bigicus, ripicus. That's rough, man. That is absolutely rough. MVP season. Yeah, unfortunately, mistakes like that'll cost you quite a bit. Especially if that interception. Oh, sorry, not the interception. That fumble was what like fully like cost you the game. That is because you could have. It was still within comeback range prior to that, I guess, but yeah, with that fumble, that is rough. Basically, 2 different mistakes that are directly tied to you, that both could be reasonably argued that lost the game. Yeah, that is rough. I know during Thanksgiving I got to watch the Chiefs versus the Cowboys game. That was interesting. That was kind of fun to watch. Also, I saw in the news recently, as a player got, I forget the team, but I saw like a football player got suspended for like headbutting. Let's see, maybe it's a play, maybe it's a rip. Well, I guess he gets to spend more time on Taylor Swift's jet then. But I saw that a football player got suspended for a couple of games because he headbutt one of the referees. I gotta look that up after this race, but one of the players like full helmet on as well, like headbutt one of the referees, which is crazy. Like, holy moly. That is, you don't do that. Send it to me after. Yeah, I think it's like full on like NFL. It might be college football. I didn't know the full story. I only saw like a brief, like the video. It was blue and yellow or black and yellow. It was either blue or yellow or black and yellow was their jersey colors. I'm trying to remember. The Bulls beat the Steelers, even with the loss on Thanksgiving. The Ravens now barely ahead of Pittsburgh in the division with the same record. They play each other next week. Ooh, that is gonna be fun. I mean, root for the home team. But on the same token, I know a lot of my friends, my college friends, do support the Steelers, so either way, you know, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, please be civilized just a little bit. I'm begging both of y'all. Someone's gonna have a success. Oh, okay, so it's college football. A Michigan player had better referee. Jeez. That's ridiculous. You know, you can seriously hurt someone that way. Like, I'm genuinely surprised that, like, they weren't, you know, like, arrested. Because that's battery, you know? Jeez. No, hopefully this is a you know, a learning experience for them and everything. Because both Baltimore and Pittsburgh is 6-6. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. So one of them's leaving with... Great. All the Gen Alpha kids are gonna say that this is the 6-7 game. This is the 6-7 game. Oh, gosh. Oh, pain. 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 Once the game ends in a tie. How often do, like, American football games end in a tie? Not that often, right? Because usually you get, like, I forget what it's actually called. Yeah. Like, I don't think I've ever seen an American football game end in a tie. Deshaun Barham did it in the game against Ohio State and didn't get ejected from the game. Bruh. I mean, he got suspended at least afterwards, but like, that should have been crazy. It did happen earlier this season. Really? Who was it? Packers and the Cowboys tied in week 4 this year. Huh. Interesting, interesting. Final score being... Oh gosh, it was a high-scoring game too. Jeez. But that was a firestorm to watch. My word. Ow. That corner there always gives me issues on the reverse version of this track. Games have been in a tie since 2000. So probably like what one every other-ish year on average, there or thereabouts. That is right, as most teams that sit on an overtime teams. Yeah. So the fact that like if you can't even settle in overtime, that's gotta be impressive. That has got to be super impressive. The playoff games can end at time. Understandable, because that's like an elimination format, right? So you can't just like, you know, eliminate both teams or what have you. Although that is certainly absolutely crazy though. Ow, hi. So if that's the case, then what has been the longest like NFL playoff game? Like if they can't end in a tie. Ow, that corner is such a pain. If they can't end in a tie, right? There's got to be like one game that's going on for like an extra like hour or two, right? You'd think. I don't know, with as high intensity and high contact football is, like, I doubt they could go much more into overtime than, like, the normal overtime amount, I think, right? double overtime, whoever does end up winning in playoff will be exhausted for the next game. And a higher risk of injuries, true. You're basically playing like extra time that you really shouldn't or don't need to be playing. And if you're going into, you know, overtime, double overtime, that means, you know, both teams are like super evenly matched, very, you know, pushing it to the absolute limits, or things have gone absolutely wrong for both teams as well. So that is interesting. Come on. Got 1.5 more laps here at Special Stage Route 11. This twisty, technical city course. This is the longest track in the game. Well, technically test course is, but test course is literally just a giant oval. That's like 10 kilometers long, I think. This is the longest, like, actual, like, course with turns and braking points. And so we do this, then we only have Tokyo's next, and then after Tokyo it is Grand Valley. So we can get Tokyo done after this race, and then tomorrow we'll do Grand Valley. We'll go back and get the test course race 1 with the Viper, the heavily modified Viper, and then we will be starting the Formula Gran Turismo series. So that's gonna be fun. Get to drive open wheelers, absolutely pushing it to the limit. I'm excited. I am very excited. So it'll be interesting for sure. And then after we beat Gran Turismo, which granted it'll probably take a little bit, as the Gran Turismo the Formula Gran Turismo Championship is a long series, with a couple of races even going past the hour mark. It is gonna be tough. Last NFL playoff game was December 25th, a Christmas game, 1971, where the Dolphins beat the Chiefs 27-24 in a game that lasted 82 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay, so a little bit over an hour and a quarter. Went to a small high school and for a couple games since we had so many injuries. Had to play both ways, offensive and defensive line. Oh gosh. That is pain. That is pain. Butts kicked in the second half against mediocre teams. I could imagine, holy moly. Like, no matter how good you are, like, trying to do both ways is... Oh, and you're just constantly getting, like, fresh guys put up against you as well. Oh, okay, never mind. We actually got Grand Valley. We get Grand Valley instead. I'll take Grand Valley, so we'll be finishing on Tokyo tomorrow. Alright, past the Jaguar, past the Altezza, past the regular GT cars. I gotta get up there with the prototypes. Alright, both the Toyota and I went wide. Welcome, Petra. I recommend the 1970 Plymouth Satellite that Dusty to be my project drag car. That's a good question. I mean, both could probably be reasonably okay. I guess it depends on the engine options you got for that. I guess maybe go... Maybe the satellite? Maybe the satellite. Because we're going to be doing a bunch of like modifications anyway. I'm pretty sure at this stage, satellite is the cheaper option compared to the Duster. If you're going to be doing like a bunch of the upgrades and everything, you know, you may as well get to a slightly cheaper base car that can still handle the power and everything. The latest double overtime game was on January 12th, 2013. Jeez, over a decade ago. Where the Ravens, hey, beat the Broncos 38-35. In a game that lasted 76 minutes and 43 seconds. Oh, gosh. That is pain. Satellite looks like the Roadrunner, right? I mean, a lot of the Mopar cars from that time did share a lot of the stylings with each other. You gotta think it was a lot of the same designers that were working on like all of them. But yeah. That being said, honestly, if you want like a project drag car, pretty much any like late 70s GM A-body will not do you wrong. Very solid chassis that's very, very perceptive to modifications. Lots of engines could fit in there. Huge aftermarket, a lot of shared components as well. And the late 70s ones are part of the Malaise era, so they're like dirt cheap. And you can make big power with them still. Yeah, Satellite's definitely longer than a Duster, which will definitely help a little bit with like that stability. And you have more weight, but you have a little more stability going on the drag strip as well if you're getting into the bigger power ranges. Going back to ties, only 0.3% of games have been in the ties since 2000. So I'm assuming, since you keep mentioning 2000, was that when ties began to be allowed as like a thing? Or were ties allowed, or was it like a different rule set prior to 2000 that like either allowed ties much more frequently or didn't allow ties at all? Zaro. I'm curious why it was specifically that. I mean, it is a nice round number year and everything. Now, ties are always a thing. I was just using 2000 for resymmetric. Ah, gotcha. Okay. Fair. Not actually. Okay. So it's just to get resymmetric. So I imagine like when it was like the older eras, they were still a lot different. Start off upgrading the engine of the rear tires at the start. Well, I go with tires. Even like the baseline, even the baseline, you know, muscle cars of that era could break traction. So I'd probably go, realistically, if I was building a drag car, I'd probably go tires and rear differential, then engine, transmission, and then gradually keep cycling through that. Once you get over like 400-ish horsepower, I'd say rear suspension as well with some track bars and everything. But yeah, like the standard tires, you're gonna want something that's pretty solid there. Because even like the unmodified muscle cars could definitely break traction. On their standard tires. And 30 tie games since 1974. So there's been 50. Sorry, there's been 15. Uh, 15 and 20. If there's been 15 ties since 2000, so 25 years there, and another basically 15 ties since 1974, so that's 26 years. Honestly, that's a pretty, despite the changing times, that's a pretty solid average of like ties across both time periods. That's pretty impressive. 1920 to 1970, 290. Oh gosh, okay, so much more tied games in the earlier days. There's a supercharger and procharger. Well, superchargers is kind of a more generic terminology. Think of it like moths and butterflies. All moths are butterflies, but not all butterflies are moths. Prochargers, to my knowledge, are a very specific type of supercharger. And I believe the prochargers are centrifugal superchargers, which basically, the best way you can think of them is instead of being an exhaust gas driven turbo, they are a belt driven turbo. Is my working knowledge of that. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I have to double check that. But yeah, that too as well. Because we have the basically you have three types of the superchargers. You got the centrifugal, which is better for top end power, as it's basically a supercharger that's designed like a turbo. You got the twin screw, which is what things like the Mercedes, SLR, McLaren have and everything. Where basically you have a male and a female screw that, and it is basically like two giant screws in there that are, you know, basically helically compress the air that way. And then you got the roots type, which is basically two large, like, interlocking propellers, basically. The roots type is basically, like, the cheapest, and also gives the big low-end power, because it's just huge lobes that are squishing air in, but you end up with a lot of parasitic drag in the higher RPM range. The twin screw types are kind of mid-range, and kind of give a good amount of power across the power bands. They have a bit more efficiency than the roots type, but again, you still get a little bit of that parasitic drag into upper end. The prochargers, you lose a little bit of that low end grunt with them, because one, they're still directly tied to the RPM range of the vehicle, and also you don't really have like the huge lobes that are squeezing air in. You have like the fans like a turbocharger does. And since the drag cars are running, you know, mostly upper RPM ranges, you usually want the centrifugal supercharger for that, as you're usually gonna be running like in the upper ranges of your engine's power band and in your engine's RPM range. So you want to shift as much torque, as much power into that region as well. Whereas if you're doing more kind of like towing, or if you're doing more like, you know, kind of autocrossing or like all that stuff, as, you know, a roots type or a twin screw would probably be your better option for good kind of cheap stop-start power in the low end grunts. But I will say the prochargers are usually, for the same amount of boost, the prochargers are usually the more expensive ones, and sometimes you gotta run like custom ductwork for those. Whereas the other two superchargers, you can usually kind of either mount them integrated directly with the integrate them with the intake manifold, or, you know, they can kind of go directly on top of the engine, whereas the centrifugal is sometimes a little bit more tricky. I will say though, do be careful when supercharging carbureted vehicles, though that gets tricky with managing fuel flow and managing lean versus rich conditions very, very fast. It's just a bit of a low end torque. Yeah, which is better for like the street builds, you know, or like kind of like your kind of track day autocross towing builds and all that stuff. Yeah, whereas if you're in the high RPM range, yeah, the Pro Charger is probably the better choice. But yeah, basically a lot of it comes down to budget as well. Like if you want quick stage 1 or stage 2 gains, like early on, you're kind of just testing things out and everything. Like a standard supercharger, standard roots is still gonna give you a big power boost across the RPM range. It's just not gonna have as much efficiency in the upper RPMs. But it's still gonna be quick. It's still gonna be faster than naturally aspirated. One other thing. Two other things actually. One, when going into forced induction, make sure you, especially as you increase boost. Yeah, they do create a lot of heat. So with that, you know, you also want to make sure you get ductwork and some form of intercooler working as well, probably, potentially, to get the air to get, you know, denser and to reduce knocking. But also, you want to reduce compression. You want to reduce the compression ratio of your engine, and also use, you know, more premium fuel once you do begin running forced induction. As the last thing you want is premature detonation or pinging as well. As with forced induction, that can definitely cause some serious issues. Even more so with these older vehicles that aren't running onboard diagnostics, as you don't have things like knock sensors, which automatically adjusts the ignition timing for you. There is a lot that goes into it, besides just slapping on more power adders. Whole lot of setups, whole lot of adjustments. And it is crazy. You gotta adjust the carburetors for the jetting on those to deal with the increased airflow coming in. You gotta deal with the deal with the adjusting the ignition timing as well to prevent detonation. You may need to slightly dial back the ignition timing there. Slow the ignition timing a bit in order to kind of make things work, which I believe can be adjusted on the distributor on that, up to a certain point anyway. So you got that going for you. And there is so many things that you gotta adjust once you start getting into the modification world. It's a big rabbit hole to go down. And it's one of those things where it's like it's the Dunning-Kruger, where it's the more you learn about it and the more like you get into the rabbit hole, the more you don't know, and so the more you realize you have to learn even more and do even more research. So it's fun though, but it is a lot of work. Oh, hi. Really? Moving into the braking zone, buddy? Come on. Jaguar is being a little bit cheeky there. Jaguar is being just a little bit cheeky. Alright, the Altezza, okay, both the Altezza and the Jaguar are pitting. Not that that matters. They're kind of more so GT cars, whereas we're a fully fledged prototype, racing with other two fully fledged prototypes of the TS020 Toyota and the R390 Nissan. You get the Whipple? Yeah, so the Whipple is, I believe, pretty sure the Whipple is the Roots type, which is kind of like the cheap, instantaneous kind of power delivery and everything, quick response, but a little bit less efficiency in the upper RPM range. But yeah, a lot of those are also kind of like, you know, bolt on and everything directly onto like a specialized manifold. You get to add the power bulge hood, the cowl hood, to fit the supercharger underneath. But yeah, it is good stuff. Good stuff. Then you get into the turbocharging side of things as well, and then you get the variable boost based off of what your previous RPMs were, how much throttle you got open, your wastegate settings, the material of your turbine, whether it's steel, ceramic, all of that. And that, even when you're running the same boost pressure for turbo setups, your torque curve can be vastly different based on so many different settings and so many different parts. It is genuinely crazy. As well as even like driving style as well. How much did you get the turbo spooled up before the next shift and everything? I will say, even in like the sim racing, where the vehicles had like the factory turbos, it is like a night and day difference going from the naturally aspirated Mercedes GT3 that I drive to the turbocharged Mercedes GT4s and GT2s. Because you gotta dry them, despite having a similar baseline chassis and similar handling characteristics, you gotta dry them so different. It's crazy. Like, you know, you short shifting out of like the low speed corners to get the traction down works super well in the GT3 with this naturally aspirated 6.2 liter engine. But in the turbo, no, 4.2 liter of the GT2 or GT4, that's not actually the best option, and you're better off just feathering the throttle so you can at least be closer to the right RPM range to get the turbos to spool up. So it requires a little bit more gentle throttle control, especially if you're in slippery conditions like wets, or on just generally low traction tracks like Laguna Seca or like Brands Hatch that don't really get rubbered in all that much, even throughout the entire race. That's right, the difference in traction between a green, a fresh Laguna Seca and a fully rubbered in Laguna Seca ain't all that much, actually. It's because of all the sand in the area and just it's being very, very old tarmac. It's still noticeable. You'll still like gain like probably around like a half second-ish, maybe a lap. But it's not nearly as noticeable as like for example, like one of like the high abrasion European circuits, like, you know, like Misano or like Silverstone or something like that get like the crazy amounts of rubbered in. Not too many more laps to go. Let's send it. Absolutely send it. I just gotta look at what's causing that slight stuttering in the game. So I got my resource manager up and everything. I'm not maxing out my GPU. I'm not maxing out my CPU. So I'm trying to figure out. It's only on like very specific corners, on like 3 or 4 tracks, where it just slightly stutters. Because it was the 90-degree corners at Special Stage Route 11, and it's basically the final right-hand turn at Grand Valley, and it's like that's an ever so slight stutter. So I wanna see what's causing. I gotta look into my settings in a bit and double check something. Just to make sure I'm not making any mistakes there. I should be fine though. Like I'm not pushing. Like everything's looking fine. CPU usage is at 50%. GPU usage is at 60%, which is pretty solid. Nothing's overheating. It's got the temperature monitor up as well. It's a little bit strange. We'll get that figured out. We'll get that figured out. Yeah, so when I go through that one corner there, GPU usage does slightly spike to 72% before dropping back down to 60. But I know I can use my GPU at 100% because I can run a set of Corsa Competizione and iRacing on max graphics settings, and it's mostly fine. I do turn it down to medium graphics settings for actual races, just so I can run it at a slightly higher frame rate. But like it's stable and even max graphics settings there, and that's using up like 95%, so I will see. It is cool seeing like which parts of the tracks actually use up more of like the GPU though, as well as like seeing it start to climb a little bit once you get other cars like close around you. It's ever so slight, like it's like a difference of like 1 or 2% with like more vehicles. But it is fun seeing that and seeing the game actually like, you know, actually be able to take that into account. I love for actual consoles to showcase that as well. Just because I like kind of seeing like which parts of the software are causing the hardware to like work harder. It's really cool in that front. Like here, you can already see some of the cars coming up in the distance. And like GPU usage went from like 62 to 67% because there's a couple of cars. So this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna see what it climbs to when we go around this corner here. Yeah, okay, so it went up to 75%. And it's staying at 75 all the way through here, where normally it would go back down. That's because I do have a couple other cars on my screen that are at least loaded in and ready to render. We almost got taken out by that Jaguar. That was a little bit crazy. And yeah, even the tunnel section, which is usually pretty good on a GPU side, it's still a little bit higher because we still got to render the 2 in front and the 1 behind. What's also cool is because the Grand Valley 2, the reverse version, is at dusk, whereas Grand Valley 1 is at noon. Because it's trying to do a little bit more like with regards to the sun and the lighting effects and everything, and the shadowing effects. The reverse version does actually use slightly more GPU usage. They went wide. Which is always cool to see. cool to see like the different effects. Because it does actually count, vaguely count for like the lights when you have like the shadow of the car and everything. You can see the shadows kind of changing direction as you're going through the turns and everything. Really cool. And across the line. Alright, so that was a 25-minute race. Next one is Tokyo. Tokyo is shorter. That time I great night. Alright, Tokyo, you have a great night as well. We actually have time to do Tokyo. I'll save Tokyo for tomorrow. We'll save Tokyo for tomorrow. We'll be ending the stream here shortly as well. Just because it is beginning to get late. And I got a few other things to get sorted. I gotta set up the Christmas tree as well. So that is gonna be fun. So I'm gonna be ending the stream here. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what you're doing well in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know what you're doing poorly so I can fix that in the future. With that being said, I've been Umbras, and wherever you're in the world, whatever the minute is for you, may it be a great time, and I'll see you all in the next stream. Until then, take care everybody. Bye bye!